Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to my podcast W5. Wow Woman Winning Wonderful World. Friends, this podcast aims at exposing you to the hardship people have done to achieve their dreams, ambitions and passion. At the same time, its indirect purpose is to explore the avenues and opportunities available which can be career for new generations. And always not, but sometime, taking deep dive revives one's passion, which is extremely important to make realization that you are alive. Everything whatever we do, if we do with determination, becomes unique and remarkable. And such is our today's wow woman, to whom I can say prosperity has not knocked door too much, but yes, she is satisfied and happy that she did what was her passion. And friends, it is no equation that a prosperous person is happy, but it is there that happy and satisfied person will prosper. So round of applause and meet India's first female Dastangoi, the woman reviving a 13th century Urdu art form, Fouzia-Dastangoi. Tucked away in old Delhi's decrepit walls and dilapidated homes is a treasure trove of stories. Fouzia-Dastangoi makes come alive as she takes her seat in the usual Vajrasan on the white mattress, the color of which matches her traditional attire of salwar kameez. Her voice and story are the weapons she plays by no audio-visual support nor music. A little laughter, a grimace, a sigh, a thundering screech. She uses uncountable modulations to express the complexities of human emotions and transports her audience to the world of stories of eminent Urdu writers like Ashraf Subohi Dehlvi, Ismat Chugtai, Intizar Hussain and others. From the Dastan of Gumi Kababi and his kebab shop in the lanes of Old Delhi to the sensitive feminist writing of Ismat Chugati's Nanhi Ki Nani, this young woman deemed India's first female Dastangoi has not only broken into the male bastion but is striving every single day to revive the 13th century dying art of oral Urdu storytelling Dastangoi in the country. So first of all, we need to understand what is this Dastangoi. An oral Urdu storytelling tradition. It has the Dastangoi or storyteller whose voice is his main artistic tool at the center because he is supposed to portray the picture in front of his audience just with the modulation and expression of his voice sitting in Vajrasan with white attire. While it is originated in Persia, the art form travelled to Delhi and other parts of India with the spread of Islam. It reached its pinnacle during the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857 when a number of Dastangois migrated to Lucknow and popularized the art form in the city. Enjoyed by all classes, the art form died for a while with the demise of Mir Bakar Ali in 1928 to be only revived in 2005. The earliest reference in print is a 19th century text chronicling the adventures of Amir Hamza titled Dastane Amir Hamza. Indian poet and Urdu critic Samshur Rahman Farooqi and his nephew writer director Mahmud Farooqi played significant role in its revival in the 21st century. They are gurus to many of the Dastangois. Fauzia's journey is really a remarkable journey. This Jasola-based dauntless storyteller was born and brought up in a lower middle class family in Old Delhi, an influence and charm that reflects in her enchanting stories. Growing up, money was always tight and she remembers how daily finances were discussed in hushed whisper by her humble scooter mechanic father and homemaker mother who struggled to make ends meet. But that did not deter them from inculcating in the young Fouzia a love for stories. While kids of her age would throw tantrums asking their parents for toys and chocolates, a young Fouzia was different. She used to collect the little bit of pocket money her Abbu could afford, amounting to a few paisas. She would march hand in hand with him and her brother to the Sunday market, counting and recounting if it is made up the exact amount she would spend them on comics and the Urdu children's monthly magazine of Yor Khilona. She grew up on an appetite of stories. She remembers listening to folk tales and stories from her maternal and paternal grandmothers. Appa Chamo from her neighborhood would tell her stories while she looked on with absolute awe and delight. Little did she think she would grow up to narrate stories herself. She completed her schooling from a government Urdu medium school and moved on to completing her honors in sociology and masters in education planning and administration from Jamia Millia Islamia. Despite being strongly attracted to performing arts, Fouzia was shackled by lack of opportunity. Belonging to government school, there were not many opportunities. She could showcase her talent. They were not taught theatre, drama, singing or dancing. The resources were so minimal that the fact they were studying was just a major achievement. In grade 11, Fouzia was exposed to the beauty of theatre for the first time up close when her teacher, Natif ma'am, took the entire class to watch the play Rustam or Shohrab, part of the 10th century Persian epic Shahnameh by Persian poet Ferdowsi. She remembers being bedazzled in that moment. She dreamt of doing theatre herself, but she was quickly came back to earth from that fantasy when she knew she had to get a job to alleviate the financial burden on her family. She started taking tuitions at home right from class 7 all through college to pay for her own education. As a young student at Jamia, she would attend her morning classes and take tuitions starting evening until 10 p.m. in the night. It was not until 2006 that she had her first encounter with the Urdu art form. She kept telling her friend Prabhat about how she wanted to do something new and exciting related to performing art, and he immediately quipped asking that whether she has watched Dastangoi. She tagged along to a show where modern Dastangos who revived the tradition in India, Mahmood Farooqi and Danish Hussain, were performing. It was love at first sight. She knew this was the art form she wanted to do for the rest of her life. It was at a time when people didn't even know what Dastangoi was. It is the only in last 10 years that the dying art form, reeling under the pressure of glamour industry, has come into the limelight. At a time when the art form seemed so obscure to the rest of the world, here was a woman determined to take it up when clearly only men dominated the scene. She had never seen a woman performing back in the day, but she was not going to step back. She took her talim from stalwart Dastango gurus like Mahmood Farooqi and Danish Hussain. She first performed in 2006 at I Discovery, I in Gurgaon with her Ustad Danish Hussain. She was nervous and jittery, who has the honor of performing their first ever Dastangoi with her guru. It went well. She was glad she did not forget any of her lines. Despite having started off her Dastangoi journey, Fouzia continued to work as a full-time lecturer at the State Council of Educational Research and Training in Delhi, a job she later quit in 2014 to pursue Dastangoi full-time. She would go to work, then attend her rehearsals in the evening and do riyaz till 11 in the night. Her amma could make no head, no tail out of what she was doing, but her brother supported her a lot. When she quit her job in 2014, she told herself that she would rather die hungry than do something that does not allow to chase her passion or makes her happy. This was the determination and this was the life-turning moment. While most people think artists get paid a lot more due to the glamour of their work, Fouzia breaks the bubble saying, "It's an art form, it won't get you much money. She finds it difficult to make ends meet when tickets don't go off in off-season. Apart from Dastangoi, she earns her living by conducting storytelling workshops in schools and colleges. Her source of income has never been Dastangoi in entirely. She also works as a consultant for organizations in the educational and developmental sector. She describes the challenges of Dastangoi form of storytelling with other forms, saying, "If you see other storytellers, you will see they do everything in their power to attract the attention of the audience, including jumping around the stage, using audio-visual aid, sound effect, props, and whatnot." But Dastangoi has only 2 storytellers clad in the traditional costume who perform. They have to attract and hold attention of the audience based solely on their voice and their content, seated in regular 2 to 3 poses with no other supporting aid. And she says, how much can one move seated in Vajrasan? Does your voice have the power to resonate and strike the chord of your listener's heart to make sure they don't leave? Having performed over 100 shows, Fouzia boasts of never having a single listener walk out in the middle of her dastan till date. Mahmoud Farooqi mentioned her as the country's first female Dastangoi in his book. She expresses her gratitude for the title, saying she is happy that it helped pave the way for more women to engage in this dying art form of India. She wished to take this oral tradition, especially small cities where it was existent years back, but seems to have lost its glory. Till date, this oral tradition is thriving in smaller neighborhoods. She wants to revive it in as many Indian villages as possible. She expresses the need for government and cultural aid for platform. She says it is a heritage that we are keeping alive and passing down to future generations after all. Her mantra for success is doing what you are extremely passionate about and keeping the thirst to achieve more in the field alive. Money and fame, she says, will fade with time. While she has watched several Dastangos come and go, it's difficult for most of them to sustain their passion in the long run. Don't be seasonal Dastangoi. Once you decide to step in, you are Dastangoi for life. From mental health to communal harmony to feminism, Fouzia has mastered the art of picking the right stories and performing them for her audience in a way that strikes the right chord. She don't want to be just a woman in a crowd holding a banner demanding change. She wants to affect change through the medium of Dastangoi storytelling. People might not listen to a lecture, but it piques their curiosity when they listen to it in story form, she believes. Stories have that kind of effect on people after all. Needless to say, she is going to win hearts yet again. So here we come to the end of दास्तान ऑफ फौजिया. ऐसी दास्तान छोड़ जाऊंगा अपनी जमाने में कि जमाने को जमाने लगेंगे मुझे भुलाने में. Meet you tomorrow with next wow woman. Till then, keep smiling, be happy. Bye bye.